welcome back to the channel. Today's video, we're going to set up a new large format 3D printer, so stick around. Alright, so here in front of me I have the AnyCubic Kobra Max, which is a large format FDM printer. It's approximately, or it's 450 by 400 by 400 millimeters, which equates to about 17.5 by 15.5 by 15.5 inches, so it's a beast. I've been getting a lot of requests as of late for large prints, and the Bebos, as you know, are not particularly large, so we're going all in on this guy. Get it out of the box here, we'll set it up, and then try to get a test print going with it. See how it does. Alright, let's see, this box is massive. This thing is going to be huge. Okay, so here is the bed. Look at that. That's like 4 Bebo beds in one. And it's a piece of glass, it looks like, with like a treated surface. Show you there. Looks pretty good. I'm going to set this down here for now. Alright, what else we got in here? I wish this flap would stay over here. Let's do that. Okay. Touchscreen display. Looks pretty nice. Put that off to the side. Get rid of that foam. What else is in here? Okay, filament. Spool holder. In 2 pieces. Easily just screws together. Locks into place. Got all of our instructions, bolts, power cord. Looks like it comes with a couple wrenches. Allen wrenches as well. Okay. What's the next thing to tear out of here? Alright. These look like aluminum rods. I think these give a little bit of sway control since the gantry system is so high. So that keeps the printer from getting out of whack up at that height. Okay, let's take this foam out of here. Okay, there we go. Whew. This thing is huge. Okay, let's see. Okay, so here is our Z-axis assembly. Already put together. Looks like it's in pretty good condition, shipped well. Double Z-axis motors, one on each upright. And then we've got our gantry motor over here. Yep. Then we got our extruder over here. This is a Bowden style printer. Set that off to the side. Okay, and now we'll get the base out of here. Foam. Okay, so this is the base. Pretty large. Not sure where I'm going to put this thing. On the bottom side, I'll turn this around for you here in a second. Oh. On the bottom side, we got power supply, controls, looks like another fan for those guys down there, all our cabling, and this looks like a dual-sided stepper here that moves the build plate back and forth. I've never seen that before. That's kind of cool. Okay, all right, let's get this box off the table and figure out how we're putting this thing together. Let's see what we got for instructions. So it's just 4 bolts up through the base into the gantry assembly. Pretty standard for this style of printer. Dump these guys out of here. We can close this up. We just need these couple pages. Okay, power cord, set aside. Okay, so here's our bolts. Do you get a spring washer? Okay, everything we need is right there. Bed clips. Maybe this little Allen wrench set. That's pretty nice, honestly. Not bad. Show it to you. And then a couple of open end wrenches. Not as great as the Allen wrenches, but not bad. A couple needles for unclogging the nozzle. Teeny tiny sample of filament. 10 meters it looks like. Micro SD card, 8 gig. That's nice. There's a flash drive, probably with the instructions and stuff on it. Got a nozzle here, bed clips, and then just a bunch of hardware and a few zip ties. So, not too shabby. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to take this, and I'm just going to set it off the edge of the table a little bit so that I can get to the bolt holes there. So this guy goes just like that. And there's 2 holes down here. Pretty easy to figure out where the bolts go. Just thread into this extrusion here. And let's see what Allen wrench is for this, the big guy. Okay. For now, I'm just going to kind of snug one of them up so it keeps the gantry in place while I flip this thing around so that I can get to this set of bolts over here. So it's bolt with spring washer. They all came in the same package, and then the big Allen wrench does the trick. And you can see the base frame, the extrusion is not painted where the upright lands. So it's really easy to line up. Okay, so now that we've got both of those in, I'll go ahead and tighten these down. I'm just going to snug the first one up and then fully tighten the second one and then come back and fully tighten the first one. Okay, and then I'll flip this around again. So that I can get back at this bolt over here and finish tightening these guys up. Okay, so now, I mean, that's the bulk of it, honestly. We've got gantry attached to the base. Let's see, what do they say now? Now we use the M5x28 bolts. I think of these guys. Am I missing a set of bolts? No? Okay. I think it might be those. Yeah, M5x16 and then M5x28, and then there's two spacers. Okay, alright. Or washers. So I think it's this package of bolts here, it's got two longer bolts and two shorter bolts. And then we need two washers. The only reason I'm looking at this is there's washers and then there's spacers in here. I just want to make sure I'm using the right one. Yeah, so I think the washers get used up at the top, and then the spacers get used at the bottom, and the nuts get used at the top as well. And the longer screw is used up here. Or I'm sorry, down at the bottom. Speaking out of turn entirely. Okay, so these guys go like this from here back to here, and then you got bolt through here, through the frame, washer, and nut. Same on this side, and then over here we've got bolt through the rod, through the spacer, into the frame. Okay, that guy through there, washer, and then lock nut. Okay, we'll do the same thing on this side. Put a rod through, followed by the washer. Followed by the lock nut. Okay. I'm just going to give this a spin around here. These are the next size down Allen wrench. Just get those bottom two dialed in here. Boom. And then we'll need one of these little open ends to hold this lock nut. it's the small side of the big wrench. Okay, those two are on. And then we just want to come back and tighten these nuts at the ends of this rod to stiffen up the rod. This kind of locks it down. Make sure that we stay rigid. There. Back that down there. Lock that in, and then this guy from the bottom, I'll do that. Okay. So now we've got a very rigid machine. All right. And then next we're going to put on the spool holder and the touchscreen, it looks like. And then we'll get to wiring. Okay, so in this other bag we've got a couple of bolts. There's a M5x6 mil and then an M5x14, and those are going to be used to attach the touchscreen to the front of the printer. So it looks like the M5x14 goes through the top and the M5x6 goes through the side, and I think they both utilize the second largest Allen wrench in the kit. So this guy just goes right here, like that. So M5x14 from the top. Just going to get that started. And then M5x6 from the front right there. Okay. Finish putting that down. Okay, cool. And then next step, it says to install the build plate with these little clips. Go ahead and take these guys out for you to see. They're just little kind of spring-loaded clips. Let me grab the build plate. We do the peel. Nice. Okay, and that guy just rests nicely right on there. So clamps are solid. They mean business. Okay. I'm just going to put 4 of these on for now. But I think it's made to have 3 and 3 across both. Okay. Build plates on, and then they say put the spool holder on, and that is supposed to just fit over the top. Let's see, where does it go? It goes in front, but I think this thing is supposed to aim backwards. That's why this seems weird. Okay, so it just kind of clamps over in front of the vertical, and then there's just kind of gravity sitting in place there. All right, so I think that's it for the assembly. Now we just got to get it all wired up. But before we do that, we got to cut some zip ties here. We'll free the Z axis. 4 zip ties, 2 in each corner. And let's get our wiring out here. Okay. That's our bed wire. Looks like there's a couple more zip ties underneath. I'm just kind of going around the bed rollers. Honestly, quite challenging to get to on this side because of all the power supply equipment in the way. Let's see if I can get to it now that I... Nope. Okay, there we go. And pull that out. Pull the other one out. Okay. Got it. Alright, I'm just going to send that forward for now. Bed feels pretty stable already, so that's good. Didn't come out of shipping all weird or anything. Alright. So, wiring. We've got these guys labeled for us. That would be nice. But too easy, apparently. I'm thinking that this guy goes up here. Ooh, is that where that attaches? Never mind. Is there another one for the touch screen? Yeah, okay. Alright. So I think right behind here, get rid of this stuff and I'll flip it around so you guys can see in the camera. Take this thing off for now. We don't need it. It's in our way. Okay. So, right behind this upright, there's a little wiring harness to plug in for the stepper motor. So go ahead and get that going. And then same thing on the opposite side. Okay, got that. And then on this back side, there's another smaller harness that goes up here to this sensor, it looks like. Boom, okay. So that's 2. And then there's this small cable here that goes into the back of the touch screen. It's a little tight for my liking, but I guess it'll work. And then I think there's two that come up here. One goes, okay, let's turn this around. Well, before we do that, let me go more forward shot here. So I think the longer one of these guys comes up here, goes in to this harness up here. A nice positive lock there, and then a little extra strain relief for the cable there. And we'll get this tied up in a second. And then you can see, hopefully, on the back side here, we've got another one of those connectors. And that gets this other cable there. Okay. Looks like we missed a zip tie up here, holding the print head in place. Get that guy cut out of there. And then there's a little bit of foam, just keeping that guy snug. Okay, now it says we want to take that all the way across, and I think we want to use these little cable clips on this Bowden tube to make this wire harness kind of track with the Bowden. I don't know, these things are kind of cheesy. I think might get some Velcro strap or something for these, but for now they'll do the job, I guess. Okay. And then there's another kind of not so amazing eyelet over here. That we're going to need an Allen wrench for. So we need a smaller Allen wrench here, one that we haven't used yet, it looks like. Yep, that's the one. Get this in here tight. Oof. Okay, there we go. It's got this kind of blue wrap here that says where to secure the cable. We'll line that back up. In the hole there. And tighten it down. Okay. I think that's it for that. Alright, and then they kind of go into some like shake this around, if it wobbles, tighten it up situation. So the first one they do is the print head, and they say if it wobbles, tighten down the eccentric nut with an open end wrench until the print head does not wobble and moves smoothly along the axis. So, hoping this is the right wrench. Feel like I'm moving the wrong thing there. I think it's this guy. There we go. Get a little too tight. So there's a nut behind the bottom bearing there that you tighten up. We got nice smooth motion, but no wobbling. And it says to do the same with the build plate. This build plate feels pretty solid, so I don't think we're going to mess with that at all. And then it says to tension up the belts, and the belts are tensioned by these little red knobs. So there's this guy here, and then there's two on the front. Okay, I think that guy's pretty good.